What's up, guys, everybody? We're gonna make some bread today. I'm so excited. Let's go make some bread, guys, and let's go make some sandwiches. I got some top-notch prosciutto, which I just ordered from Masala Maria, which is an Italian pork store. Let's go eat, guys. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bake it in the skillet, in a nice iron skillet. Very light oil, give it a light little brush. I take a paper towel, and I just, get it all around the edges. Here we got the beautiful dough here that's been sitting around for, I'd say it's been about, 72 hours. More like 62% hydration. All right, let's place this in the pan. It was really well oiled. Look how smooth. Look at that, nothing stuck. Look at that beautiful transition right there into the cast iron skillet. Now I want to score it. I want to put a cross on it. Got a really sharp knife here. Just want to make sure that the dough is nice and even. Onto the pan. We're going to give it a crosshair here, guys. Typically, to score bread, bakers use razor blades. This is a pretty sharp knife. Let's hope it does okay here. All right, here we go. Ready? It's not sharp enough. All right, let's see how that comes up when it bakes. Guys, check this out. I got some Black Label Prosciutto. Picked this up at a place called Frank and Sal pork store here in Staten Island. I paid about it goes for about, I don't know, $16 a pound or so. Now, Black Label Prosciutto is made from fatter Italian pigs, and the prosciutto is aged for 18 months. Unlike prosciutto di Parma, Black Label prosciutto, which is also made in the hills of Parma, so buttery and tender that it's more ideal for pasta dishes. This here is prosciutto di San Daniele, but this is a prosciutto that's aged 13 months. Now, yeah, I can tell the difference, absolutely. This was a little less expensive. This was, I believe, $15 a pound or $13 a pound. Whereas prosciutto di Parma is $10 a pound. This is $13 a pound. The Black Label, $15 a pound. And that's my dog being a little pest. There we have them side by side, guys. Prosciutto di San Daniele. Again, aged 13 months. Prosciutto Black Label, aged 18 months. $13 a pound, $15 a pound. Again, regular prosciutto di Parma is $10 a pound. So, definitely a difference in prices and a difference in the way these slices of prosciutto look. As you can see, there is a difference in the way they look. This looks a little less fatty, a little leaner. Obviously, very, very tender and delicate. This a little tougher, little tougher. But compared to prosciutto di Parma, the regular stuff that you find mostly in the delis, it's very, very tender, very buttery, melts right in your mouth. All right, bread's in the oven. When you're making bread, you don't want to go too high, guys. I'm going 465. We're gonna try 465. Again, you don't want to go too high. It's going to take a while to cook. It's bread. It's thick. It's not thin crust pizza here, guys. So we'll see how this thing comes out. I may have to scrap this video. This thing may come out burnt. I don't know what's going to happen. I've never tried making bread like this before in a cast iron skillet. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. If anything, we're going to make some prosciutto sandwiches on some white toast. On the side, guys, I got my backup plan right here. Picked up some bread at a place called Alfonso's Bakery. That's some nice semolina here, guys. Check this out. This is my backup plan. If I screw up the bread, we got bread right here, no problem. We're gonna make some sandwiches, whether or not I screw up. Here we have the Black Label prosciutto, 18 months aged. It comes apart like wet toilet paper. That's how tender this stuff is. Aged 18 months. Let's give it a shot. Wow. The flavor is intense. That almost sweet and sour taste you get from prosciutto. Very pronounced. It's just so much more tender and delicate. Wow. Let's taste the San Daniele. Aged 13 months, which is 5 months less than the other prosciutto that I just had. Here we have it. Here we have a piece. It's a little tougher. It's a little tougher than the one I just had. Absolutely, it doesn't break apart as easily. Not as tender, absolutely, not as tender. That sweetness is not as sweet. Not only is it not as tender, it's not as sweet, it's not as tasty. Guys, look at the difference in the fat content. A little fattier. It's aged 5 months less than the Black Label. So this is a little, this is way leaner. Look at that. There it is. Looks like I didn't score it too well, but looks pretty. It looks pretty. I'm concerned with the bottom of this bread. Looking pretty. The scoring did not come out like I wanted it to. Would have been nice to have some sesame seeds on this thing. But hey, look, I make pizza, I don't make bread. This is the first time I ever made bread, and next time I'll get a razor blade and I'll score this thing up a little better than that and put a nice little pattern in the middle. All right, guys, here we have the profile. There is some nice texture to this bread. It's not exactly sourdough, even though I fermented it for 72 hours. You got to use a starter when you're making bread. I didn't do that. I'm really pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it. But, you know, I didn't taste it yet, so we'll see how it is. I'm going to give it a little taste. Got a little bit of fresh mozzarella, guys, that I have left over from the time I made the pizza. You could go watch that video on my channel. We're going to cut this up nice and thick, guys. Fresh mozzarella lost a lot of its moisture. It's been in the fridge for about a week, so, you know, it's not the same. You got to eat this stuff when it's milky and it's just made. It changes drastically once you refrigerate it. Changes drastically. But it's good for a sandwich. It's actually good for pizza right now. I typically use the mozzarella when it was very fresh and milky, and I used it for pizza. Typically, you want to refrigerate the mozzarella before using it for pizza, and you want fresh mozzarella for a sandwich, like in this case. So I'm doing the opposite, but hey, whatever. It still works. It still works, guys. Believe me. If you want, grab a wedge of reg. That's right, guys. What we have here is a wedge of reg. Parmigiano Reggiano. Slice it up nice and thin. And put it on top of the other cheese. Here we have it. We're going to put that right on top of that mozzarella. Here we have some scamorza cheese, partially melted. Got a nice slab of scamorza right there. Love that cheese. You know me. You know how much I love it. Oh, yeah. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. You know what I like to put on my prosciutto sandwich? A little bit of black pepper. Little bit. Little bit. Little bit. All right. We got the cheese, the blend of cheeses all peppered up. And we're going to go and proceed to layer on our Black Label Prosciutto di Parma. And this one is delicious. Oh, this meat is so tender and buttery. Oh my goodness, guys. How about we make it 3 slices? Yeah, 3 slices sounds just about right. Layer that on. Here we have fresh mozzarella on the other side of the bread. So we got 3 cheeses. We got scamorza. We got the scamorza and the wedge of reg, sliced nicely thin. And we got some fresh mozzarella here, guys. Look at the oil seeping out. Look at that. I melted it a little bit in the toaster oven. And the bread, I think I realized what I did wrong. I cold fermented it. And I didn't use a sourdough recipe for this bread. And it's a little tough on the outside. The exterior crunch is really tough, but it's soft in the middle. I don't recommend cold fermenting bread unless you're making sourdough, which this is not. I use ordinary bread flour, King Arthur, 12.7% protein content. So anyway, what we're gonna do here, guys, the last steps. That's right, guys. That is correct. You guys are absolutely correct. Now, I'm not going to drench the bread with the oil. I like to put it on the meat. I like to put the oil on the meat and on the cheese. And what you do is, if you want to dip it, just throw some more on the plate. That's all. No sandwich is complete without a little bit of balsamic vinegar of Modena. We got some good imported Calavita balsamic vinegar here. I like this balsamic vinegar. It's very, very sweet and sour. Delicious. It really is. It was born and made using the high standards of quality. That's right, guys. The Aceto Balsamico di Modena. Protected geographical indication. That's the stamp right there. That's the stamp you want to see on your balsamic vinegar, folks. A little drizzle. Again, put some on the plate. That's it. And there you have it, folks. There you have it. What I like to do is just eat the sandwich, meat and cheese. That's it. If you want to put a little basil in it, you can. Basil works well with a prosciutto and cheese sandwich. But first, I just want to take a couple of bites alone. Just the meat and the cheese. Mmm. Oh, it's like butter. Mmm. And then if you want to, switch it up, maybe put a little cherry tomato on it, maybe some basil, and try it like that. Got a couple of cherry tomatoes here. I'm gonna try the next bite with some basil, guys. A little bit of basil for the next bite. Again, it's not recommended you use black label prosciutto to make a sandwich, because this meat is aged to produce great flavor. It's aged. A lot of time goes into making this meat and curing it to produce great flavor as well as tenderness. And so what you want to do is grab a piece of reg, or wedge of reg, get a little bit of that prosciutto, and maybe dip it in that oil and vinegar, and eat it like this. Maybe with a little piece of bread, or without the bread. Oh, what a combo. What a combination. Guys, a little diversion here from the pizza reviews. For me, at least, I enjoy making pizza. There was a time before this channel when all I did was make pizza. And I think I went 10 years without ordering pizza from any other place. I'm sure most of you guys are digging this content. And if you do, hit that like, smash that subscribe button. Until next time, this is Antonio signing off.